What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Saturday Q&A. We have dubbed it the Saturday Q&A, so we're running with it. If you've never seen one of these before, the place the questions come from is my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Keep an eye out. A couple times a week, I'll post up Q&As. Sometimes they'll be for YouTube, so just keep an eye out. Get questions in. Chances are your question will get answered on here sooner than later. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Gonna kick today off with a huge moral dilemma. Do you kick the ice under the fridge or do you pick it up? I kick it under the fridge because we have to be sparing on the lower back right now. It's typically very sore and tight. Okay. Is there a pose or a version of a pose that you'll never hit on stage? Um, I am a huge fan of crab most musculars on a lot of people, but for some reason I absolutely hate how I look in crab most muscular, so I'll never hit a crab most muscular on stage. Explain smelling salts. How do they work? How often do you use? How often do I use? Way too much. Smelling salts, basically, it's just like ammonia, like different amounts of concentration of ammonia. The stronger the concentration, the worse they are. They work by literally being so like that it excites your central nervous system and can cause a small little adrenaline dump. So yeah, that's smelling salts. Okay, this is an actual good question that we can spend a couple minutes on. Should training volume decrease deep into prep? So whenever you're starting a prep out, your training volume slash work capacity slash whatever is here. As you go through prep and as your cardio goes up and as your food goes down and as you get leaner and as the weeks go on, you end up down here. So how would it make sense for your volume to be here and then as time goes on for it to end up here? It doesn't make any sense. So yes, absolutely. Deep into prep, your volume should be going down. Not only your volume, but more honestly, in my experience, it's going to be the training poundages, especially if you're training, low volume, high intensity to begin with. You might only be doing 2 working sets per exercise or even 1 on some. So there's not really much, wiggle room in terms of reduction in volume in terms of sets. But you can, reduce the actual load you're using to still hit the rep ranges you're looking for. That's been more my experience, what I do. If you're training on a high volume split, then yes, you'll as your prep goes on, you'll want to reduce the volume as as your recovery becomes impeded, by what's going on in your prep. Okay, moving on. Can stretch marks keep you from becoming a pro and winning Mr. O? Absolutely not. If I'm gonna be honest with you, just about everyone I know that bodybuilds, myself included, looks like they got mauled by a bear somewhere on their body. Some worse than others. But yeah, everyone's got stretch marks. Tan hides them pretty well, and honestly, you're so far away and you're so lean that you can't see them really. So no, it will not impede you your bodybuilding at any level, in my opinion. Okay. Have you found value in taking exercises past 3 or 4 working sets, or is it just gonna be junk volume? So, I never do more than 3 working sets on an exercise, and if I do a 3rd working set, it's typically more of a, like, really dense metabolic set, so, like, I'm aiming for more, blood flow and doing as much work as possible than I am, hitting another set of, like, 10 to 12 and, hitting failure at the end of the set. Um, just because of the reason, if you take your top set to failure in a 10 to 12 rep range, my experience in the gym and, research suggests that you need to take a 20 to 25% reduction in that weight to stay in that rep range that you were just in. So you know 25% off of a maximal load is pretty submaximal to begin with, and then you do that again, you're going to be nowhere near what the muscle's actually capable of handling, and you're just very fatigued. So I do believe anything past 3 sets would definitely be considered junk volume or overdoing it. And if you feel the need to do that many sets, I might encourage you to look at the intensity and the technique being used in the prior sets. Okay. Do you lower your food intake on rest days in the off season, and do you count your steps daily? Um, it depends. on whether I'm in the off season or in prep, if I lower my food on off days. I know you asked off season, so in the off season, no. The calories stay consistent even on the off days, with the only exception being I'm not drinking my intra on the off days. So, carbs, protein, and fats are all basically exactly the same, rest day versus off day. Like I said, though, prep comes along, and as we get deeper into prep, we're definitely manipulating, um, especially carbohydrates around training days versus off days. What will be your most improved body part this year? I am really excited to show off the amount of progress that I've made on my back since the last Olympia. It's always been my weakest body part. It's gone from piss poor to mediocre to okay. And this year, I'm trying to get into the good, maybe even great category. We'll settle for good. But yeah, back's always been my weakest body part. That being said, I really feel like I've improved it this year. So, like I said, I'm really excited to show it off. Honest thoughts on natural bodybuilding. I absolutely can't stand it when someone feels the need to beat their chest about how they're natty. Like, cool, bro. Yeah, cool. That being said, natural bodybuilding, for those that, take it serious, don't feel the need to, condescend and preach to everyone. I think it's incredible from the standpoint that you have to be so much more in tune and detail oriented with it, because you don't have the crutch of anabolics to save you from making stupid mistakes like dieting too hard or doing too much cardio or trying to do things too fast. My experience with natural bodybuilding, those that do it well, it's a much longer and gradual process to get in shape. It's a much longer and gradual process, and typically a higher body fat process to add muscle in the off season. So, have a lot of respect for natural bodybuilding. Like I said, I could do without the natty dudes beating their chest about how they're natty. Like, cool. All right, let's do one more, and then we will wrap this. Do you have a college degree? Spelled COLLAGE. So, or do you have a collage degree? I don't have a degree in making collages. I do have a college degree from Texas A&M in economics, though. So, yes, I do have a bachelor's degree. On that note, we're gonna wrap this one up. If you like this, be sure to subscribe so you can get a notification in the future when we release content. Having a lot of fun doing these. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want your question answered, be sure to follow me on Instagram and keep an eye out on my stories. Regularly, you'll do Q&As, and more often than not, they'll be for YouTube. See y'all next time.